52 Traders, episode 143.
So what I try to find is really what is my comfortable, capable span of control in order to know how many positions I can have, and then I just stick to that discipline.
Join Cam every week on the 52 Traders podcast or at 52traders.com to learn how to trade like the pros. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not investment, trading, or financial advice of any kind.
What's up, traders? Welcome to another installment of the 52 Traders podcast. I'm your host, Cam Hawkins, and today we've got Ken Long on the show. Now, some of you may have heard of Ken because he's been around for a number of years, and he's a good friend of Van Tharp, who has authored a number of books and has a heavy following in the trading community, and I think most of you know Van Tharp, and people have even mentioned his books on the show. So Ken has been friends with him and worked with him at the Van Tharp Institute for a long time and does his own thing as well. And we've got him on the show here talking about pretty much everything under the sun. It's a fantastic interview, and that's coming up in a minute. But before we get into that and hear from Ken and hear our in-depth interview, first of all, I want to give you a quick update, a small little teaser as to how things are going for me. Now, I've sort of stepped it up a notch. My trading's actually going really well. My mentor, Andre, is helping me sort of put things together, and it's just starting to turn around. I mean, this week so far I've had four winners in a row, all with good risk to reward, and so that's 2 days that I normally would have had at least one loser. So I seem to be getting some of the psychological things under control, and what's more, I've taken that to the next level. So I actually had a chat this morning, and I was hoping to put some of the audio in the show, but I'm not going to get a chance to because it didn't come across very well, but there will be a chance in the future. So I'm thinking I'm very close to, and this guy's either a very good salesman or just very compelling in terms of what he talks about. So I'm going to actually most definitely hire this mindset coach to help with my trading mindset, among other things. And I want to see if it makes a difference. It's going to cost a bit of money, and I think it's a worthwhile investment. I still need to run it past the wife, but hey, we'll do that later on today, and then I'll make the first payment, and hopefully, look, I mean, it's sort of a last-ditch effort to try and get any sort of mindset kinks ironed out so that I can move forward and make this trading thing happen and everything else in my life happen. So guys, stay tuned for that, because I'll give you updates throughout the shows, hopefully some snippets of the recordings as well. If there's trading related stuff that might help you guys, I'll lob them in. I might even do a show on it separately as well. But for today, let's hear this interview with Ken Long. All right, folks, we've got Ken Long here on the show, 52 Traders. Now, Ken, you're part of the Van Tharp Institute. How are things going over there in Kansas? And can you tell us a little bit about how you got sort of introduced to Van Tharp?
Well, sure. I was introduced to trading by my father-in-law, who was a small business entrepreneur, and he was kind of laughing at my long-term investment strategy of investing in passive mutual funds back when I was in my, mid-20s. That's about, almost 35 years ago. And he suggested that I needed to get into trading stocks, because that's where the better money was. And so he's pretty smart. So I started reading some books and doing some things along the Peter Lynch style of know what you're buying and think like a businessman, and then probably the canned slim stuff of William O'Neill. And so I became interested generally in the topic. I thought it was an interesting problem to solve of how to, grow your own money while you're making a career. And I had just gotten married, which is the best trade that I've made in the last 40 years. So my first piece of advice is marry well. And so I can remember being in a bookstore, and I came across a Robert Kiyosaki book, believe it or not, and the Cash Flow Quadrant. And Van Tharp had a section in that book and an audio tape that came along with that book. And I didn't have that much use for Kiyosaki's work, but the Tharp stuff was very interesting. His discussions of psychology and risk management and money management really resonated with the things that I had been discovering on my own. And I used to listen to that tape on long drives in Kansas because it takes forever to get anywhere. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And at that time, I was a young captain in the U.S. Army. I had a 25-year career, and I was in the middle of it. And it seemed kind of odd for me to spend a couple $1,000 back in the 90s to go to a investment workshop, but I really was intrigued by his work, and I went and started studying his work, and it really resonated with me. It filled in a lot of gaps and gave me a structured approach to thinking about the enterprise of trading. I did some good work with Van, and he invited me to come back and kind of lecture in some of his other courses about some of the techniques that I had been applying. I was, at that time, a chief of staff in a large Army unit, and I had completed my master's in systems management that looked at the kind of the human and IT interface and how to produce robust decision-making systems. And so I brought that sensibility to trading, and Van thought that was pretty interesting, and we've sort of been collaborating ever since. He gave me another good piece of advice, and that was to...
All right, folks, hope you enjoyed that little teaser of the interview there. Now, as I said before, my name's Cam Hawkins, and this is 52 Traders. Look, it's been said that the fastest way to become rich is to find a successful trader and simply do what he's doing. However, the challenge is finding someone who really knows what they're doing and who's willing to share. Now, that's what you get here at 52 Traders, and that's what you get in this interview, the full interview, and all the other ones that I've done. Look, since 2015, I've been finding the very best traders who know what they're doing and getting them to share their expertise. Now, during this interview, you're going to hear just one of over 100 interviews that I've done, and I know you're going to love it, but this interview is just the tip of the iceberg. So over the course of the next 30 days, you'll have free access to my entire library of interviews with over 100 of the world's best traders. And you'll also enjoy my private chat room where past guests and other full-time traders are sharing charts and helping other traders 24/7. Have you ever wanted to talk to Larry Williams, who turned 10K into 1.1 million in less than a year? Or how about Timothy Sykes, Andrea Unger, Al Brooks, or Rob Booker? They're also in there along with many more. When you get started today, you'll immediately receive access to interviews with dozens of world-renowned experts in Forex, stocks, bonds, commodities, cryptocurrencies, options, and futures trading. And the great news is this series of interviews grows each month. That's because every month I talk to some of the best traders in the world, getting them to reveal their step-by-step trading methods and the secrets behind their trading success. So whether you trade Forex, futures, stocks, options, or cryptocurrencies, the knowledge and methods these traders share will help you take your trading profits to the next level. So why not give it a try? It's only $5 to get started and have instant access to over 100 interviews with some of the world's top traders and the 24/7 chat room where you get direct access to some of the world's best traders. Then after 30 days, if you like the comprehensive education you're getting, you can continue to receive up to 4 new interviews each month and the 24/7 chat room for only $5 a month. But if not, there's no obligation to continue. Where else would you get such direct access to the world's best traders for what many pay for a cup of coffee? So go ahead, click the link in the show notes, or go to 52traders.com